Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is giving the most confidential knowledge. It is the knowledge of pure devotional service. In the 27th verse of this 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Yat karoshi yad ashnasi yad juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. This means, O son of Kunti, Krishna is addressing Arjuna, Kaunteya, all that you do, yat karoshi, yad ashnasi, all that you eat. This is very important for us, the topic under discussion. All that you eat and all that you offer and give away, yad juhoshi, dadasiyat, as well as all kinds of charity that you do. Yet tapasyasi, whatever austerities you may perform, tat kurushva madarpanam, you should do as an offering to me. So, important point here is that whatever we eat, before we eat, we should do an offering to Krishna, and the remnants of that which is offered to Krishna should be taken as prasadam. So, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport to this verse, it is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. In fact, among all the instructions in the scriptures, the topmost instruction is always remember Krishna, and the second most important instruction is never forget Krishna. The Vedas are full of do's and don'ts. Do this, do this, do this, do this, and a whole set of don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. So there are positive injunctions and negative prohibitions. So as a positive injunction, the topmost injunction is always remember Krishna. This is a positive injunction. The same thing as a negative injunction, it is said, never forget Krishna. So how can we always remember Krishna? How can we avoid forgetting Krishna? And so Prabhupada says, this verse gives us the method by which we can always remember Krishna and never forget him. So it is said, everyone has to work for maintenance of his body and soul together. So Krishna recommends one should work for him. So how can one work for Krishna? That is explained that whatever the result of the work that one does, that result has to be offered to Krishna. That's the way of working for Krishna. Everyone has to eat something to live, therefore he should accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Any civilized man has to perform some religious ritualistic ceremonies. Therefore, Krishna says, do it for me. And doing this religious ritual for Krishna is called Archana, worshipping the deity. You may either worship the deity of Krishna or a picture of the deity of Krishna. So that's called doing for Krishna. The religious rituals, performing for Krishna. Then everyone has got a tendency to give something in charity, dana. So Krishna says, give it to me. Now somebody may wonder, why should I give dana to Krishna? I may give it to some needy person. Krishna is super rich. Why should I give it to Krishna? So it is explained, this is, mind you, this is very, very confidential knowledge. It is very confidential knowledge. So we should try to understand, why is Krishna asking you give something which you want to give in charity to me? Krishna is not in need. Certainly Krishna is not in need. Then why is he asking that you offer charity to Krishna? Why is he telling that? The reason is that everything in existence belongs to Krishna. So if somebody has got something which they think is theirs, actually it is stolen property. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the 3rd chapter, it is said that everything belongs to Krishna and people should have that understanding. So I may utilize something for my basic needs, but I should recognize it is not mine, it is Krishna's. And I may utilize it as a gift from Krishna, as Krishna's arrangement for my maintenance, because he is the maintainer. He is my well-wisher. He is my topmost well-wisher. So he has given me this for my maintenance, so I may utilize it. That's okay. But not that I have worked hard and I have earned this, so this is mine. This is the result of the hard work I have done. I have earned this particular money. No, that understanding is wrong. So everything belongs to Krishna. Therefore, it should be recognized, first of all, that nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Krishna. And then, for my maintenance, whatever basic minimum is required, I am entitled to use. And then the balance should be actually offered to Krishna. Balance should be offered to Krishna. So that way, what are we doing when we are offering to Krishna? We are giving to Krishna what belongs to him. So we have no right actually to take anything which is Krishna's and claim it as ours. Neither we have got a right to take something which belongs to Krishna and give it to somebody else. You should, if at all you return beyond what you require bare minimum, you should return to the owner, the factual owner. So that is Krishna. Therefore Krishna says, you give to save you from incurring sinful reaction of stealing something. Therefore Krishna is telling to save you from that sinful reaction, to save you from punishment. Because laws of nature are very, very strict. If somebody claims something that is not theirs as belonging to them, and then they are punishable by the laws of nature. So to save you from punishment, Krishna is telling that you give charity to me. Now, to give charity to Krishna means, again, practically how is this done? Prabhupada says in the purport, this means all surplus money accumulated should be utilized for furthering the Krishna consciousness movement. Why is Prabhupada telling this? Because this Krishna consciousness movement is actually a movement which is meant for furthering the mission of Krishna in this world. Krishna wants everyone to become Krishna conscious and go back to him and return to him and go to his abode. That's where we belong, all of us. We are meant to become Krishna conscious, especially in this human form of life, and go to Krishna. So for that purpose, this Krishna consciousness movement is endeavoring to educate people, to let them know about Krishna and their relationship with Krishna and how to awaken or develop that relationship which they have forgotten. And that is why the Krishna consciousness movement, when somebody gives a donation to the Krishna consciousness movement, they are giving to Krishna because it is Krishna's own movement. Purpose of Krishna is being served exclusively by this movement. There is a very nice instance in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Chaitanya Charitamrita is the description of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes and his teachings and his philosophy is very nicely explained. So there was a devotee, a great devotee, who was a predecessor to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was he appeared earlier than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name was Madhavendra Puri. He was the Acharya before the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name was Madhavendra Puri, and once he was traveling to Vrindavan. Vrindavan is a holy place connected with Krishna's pastimes. He came upon a hill known as Govardhan. Govardhan hill is very famous. It's the hill which Krishna lifted 5,000 years back to protect the Brajavasis when there was torrential rain, when Indra's yajna was spoiled, was stopped by Krishna. So that Govardhan hill, he came to that spot where the Govardhan hill is located, the town of Govardhan, and upon actually seeing that hill, Madhavendra Puri went into ecstasy of love of Krishna, and he completely got lost in that feeling of ecstasy when he just saw the Govardhan hill. After circumambulating the hill, devotees do what is called as Govardhan Parikram. It's about 23 kilometers. So he went round the hill, and then he came to a spot called Govinda Kunda, where he took his bath. Then he sat beneath a tree to take his evening rest. While he was sitting, it was just about sunset time, and an unknown cowherd boy came to him with a pot of milk. The boy placed that pot of milk before Madhavendra Puri and smilingly addressed Madhavendra Puri. "Oh Madhavendra Puri, please drink this milk I have brought for you. Why don't you beg for some food to eat? What kind of meditation are you doing?" So Madhavendra Puri saw the beauty of this boy, cowherd boy, and he became very much satisfied to hear him speak. Hearing his sweet words, he forgot all about his thirst, hunger, everything. Then Madhavendra Puri inquired, "Who are you? Where do you reside? How did you know that I was fasting?" The boy replied, "Sir, I am a cowherd boy, and I reside in the nearby village. In my village, nobody fasts. In this village, a person can beg food from others if he does not have any food for himself. He can beg food and eat. Some people drink only milk. But if a person does not ask anyone for food, does not do any begging, and he doesn't have any food, I supply him all the eatables." So then the boy said, "The women who came here to take water," nearby there was this Govinda Kund, no? So women who came here to take water from the village, they supplied me this milk and told me to give you this milk. So the boy continued, "I must go very soon to milk the cows, but I shall return after milking the cows and take back the milk pot from you." Saying this, the boy left the place. Then Madhavendra Puri's heart was filled with wonder that some arrangement of the Lord, that I am fasting, but this Lord has sent me some milk through some cowherd boy of this village. So happily he drank the milk, and then he washed the pot, and he was waiting for that boy to come back to take the pot. And the boy did not return. It became dark. Then Madhavendra Puri, he was just trying to take some rest near the Govinda Kund, and he chanted Hare Krishna. At the end of the night, he dozed off a little, and then in the dream, the same boy appeared. The boy came in the dream of Madhavendra Puri, and holding Madhavendra Puri's hand, he took Madhavendra Puri to a bush in the jungle, nearby jungle. The boy showed Madhavendra Puri a particular bush and said, I reside here, and because of this, I suffer very much from severe cold, torrential rain, winds, and scorching heat. So please bring the people from the village and take me out of this bush. Have them situate me nicely on top of the Govardhan hill. Please construct a temple for me on top of the hill and install me in that temple. Wash me with huge quantities of nice cool water so that my body may be cleansed. For many days I have been observing you and I have been wondering, when will Madhavendra Puri come here to serve me? I have accepted your service because of your ecstatic love for me. And my name is Gopal, and I am the lifter of the Govardhan hill. Means it was a deity of Krishna who had come in the dream of Madhavendra Puri. And the boy continued speaking. I was installed by Vajra, and here I am the authority. When the Muslims attacked, the priest who was serving me hid me in this bush in the jungle and ran away due to the fear of the attack. Since the priest went away, I have been staying in this bush. It is very good that you have come here. Now remove me with great care and place me on top of the hill and build a temple for me. After saying this, the boy disappeared. Madhavendra Puri immediately woke up and began to consider his dream. Then he realized the boy who came to give him milk is the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. So he felt very bad that he was not able to recognize Krishna. And then he considered, now whatever instruction has been given in the dream, I have to carry out that instruction. In the morning he woke up and he actually took a bath and went to the nearby village, gathered the villagers and began to speak to them. That the proprietor of this village, Govardhan Dhari, he is lying in the bushes. Let us all go and rescue him. So, and Madhavendra Puri explained, the bushes are very dense. You have to take your choppers. And then only we'll be able to clear away some path and enter the actual bush to search for the deity, which is hidden somewhere there in the bushes. Now the people were very excited. Oh, there is a deity in that some bush in the jungle. Let us all take our choppers. So many of them brought their implements and they all went with Madhavendra Puri. So they began clearing. As they entered the jungle, they began clearing the thick, highly grown weeds and whatever trees or whatever that is, dirt and grass and everything. And then suddenly they found one beautiful deity. Beautiful means it was not appearing very beautiful. They saw something covered, some kind of deity covered with a lot of mud. So then they tried to remove the mud and suddenly they discovered the deity. Now, having found the deity, one of them tried lifting the deity, but it was very heavy. So then a few of them together, they tried to lift the deity, and then Madhavendra Puri took them to the top of the Govardhan hill, and there a big stone, flat stone, was made into a throne, and the deity was placed on that stone. Then Madhavendra Puri called all the other villagers, the Brahmana priests, and all of them, they carried water from the Govinda Kunda to the top of the hill, and using that several pots of water, they cleansed first of all the deity. It is said here 900 pots of water were required to cleanse the deity. Means many years it was just lying there, and lot of mud and all kinds of slush was nicely covering the deity. So it took quite an effort to cleanse the deity completely. It was a stone deity. Then Madhavendra Puri arranged for the Brahmanas to actually do the installation ceremony of that deity. And he directed the Brahmanas how to do it. And the villagers brought milk, yogurt, ghee, honey, all this for doing the Abhisheka, Panchamrita Abhisheka. Then they also brought various kinds of sweets. They brought tulsi leaves, they brought some flowers. Using all this, Madhavendra Puri then arranged for an installation ceremony. And after the bathing was performed, then the Abhishek was performed. Then the decoration was done for the deity. And a new cloth was used to just wrap the deity with a kind of dhoti. And then nice garlands, flower garlands, which were prepared by the women of this village who had come there. And those flower garlands were offered. Sandalwood pulp was offered to the deity. Tulsi garland was offered. Then the nice foodstuff, which they had prepared, was all offered to the deity. Finally, after the offering of the food, then the deity was put to rest. And then Madhavendra Puri said, all the village people, actually, they should come and take the prasadam. So all the village people gathered, and Madhavendra Puri arranged few of the Brahmanas to feed everyone, make everybody sit down and feed them. And nicely the prasadam was distributed. And then neighboring villages people heard that, oh, a deity has been installed on top of the hill. So the other villagers, they came the next day. When they came there, they brought with them grains and fruits and dal and milk and curds and ghee and sugar and everything they brought with them. So Madhavendra Puri arranged some Brahmanas to, and potters brought some pots. So used all that and arranged some Brahmanas to cook. Next day also a big offering was done to Gopal. And then all the villagers who came to see Gopal were made to sit down, and after the arati and the offering, they were all fed. So like this, day after day, different villagers would come. They would bring with them all these grains and ghee and milk and everything. Madhavendra Puri would organize to get all the preparations made by the Brahmanas. And after arati, offering, arati, he would feed that same prasadam to all the villagers. In this way, day after day, for several months this went on. Then the businessmen of Mathura, they heard about the deity. So they came and began to offer different kinds of service. One of them offered nice jewelry. Not one of them, few of them offered nice jewelry. One of them agreed to build a temple, a proper temple for this Gopal deity, because Madhavendra Puri had done some temporary arrangement. It was not a pakka temple like that. It was like a thatch roof made with some leaves and some twigs and all that. So one of the businessmen, he offered to build a proper temple. So Madhavendra Puri arranged for a temple to be built. And then properly the temple was built, and a proper arrangement was there made for having a kitchen, and then proper utensils were arranged for cooking for the Lord every day. Then two of the Brahmanas Madhavendra Puri appointed to do daily deity worship and daily offering and daily prasadam distribution. Like this, seeing the influence of Madhavendra Puri, all the people who had gathered there were struck with wonder. And then another day, after a few months, the deity came in the dream of Madhavendra Puri. Then the deity Gopal began to tell Madhavendra Puri, actually my body has not cooled down sufficiently. I require a lot of sandalwood pulp. So go to Puri, Jagannath Puri, and get big quantity of sandalwood. So if you bring that sandalwood, and then nicely the sandalwood paste is prepared by the local brahmanas and is smeared on my body continuously for many, many days, then my body will cool down. So Madhavendra Puri then next day morning he woke up. Oh, Gopal has ordered me to get sandalwood from Jagannath Puri. Okay, I will go. So he had already made arrangement for the daily worship of this Gopal deity. So he began to travel to Jagannath Puri. On the way, he came across a particular place, especially where there was a very famous temple of Krishna known as Gopinath. In this Gopinath temple, they used to do every day one special offering that was very, very famous. It was a milk offering called Kshira. Kshira every day was offered, and that was very unique offering that was made to that deity. So Madhavendra Puri had heard about that deity and the Kshira offering. So when he was going inside the temple for having darshan of the deity, he thought for a moment, if I can taste this Kshira prasadam, which is offered to the deity here, then I can make similar Kshira for my Gopal deity. I can arrange to make similar Kshira deity. So after I taste, then I can ask the local cook of this temple how the Kshira is prepared. Then I will arrange to get the same type of Kshira prepared for my Gopal deity when I go back to Govardhan. So thinking like that, he went inside for darshan. At that time, the offering was getting over, and 12 pots, the Pujari explained to Madhavendra Puri, 12 pots of the Kshira is offered every day. So the 12 pots which had been offered was coming out, and then the Arati ceremony took place. Then Madhavendra Puri felt very, very bad that while the offering was going on, this thought that came to his mind, if I can taste the Kshira prasadam, that would be very nice, so that I can prepare. So he began to consider that I have committed a great offense to the deity. So I don't deserve to take this prasadam. Thinking like that, he just waited for the arati to get over. Immediately after the arati was over, before any prasadam distribution, he left that temple and went away. And since it was getting dark, he decided that he is going to continue his journey the next day. So he went to the marketplace near the temple of Gopinath in that town. That town is called Remuna. It's in Orissa. So he took rest in that marketplace, in a vacant spot in the marketplace. He decided to take rest. Meantime, in this temple, what happened was, after the arati was over, then night service was also done. Then the pujari put the deities to rest, the deity to rest, and then went back to his house. His house was nearby the temple. Locked the door of the temple and went to his house as usual. In the night, that pujari had a dream. The deity of Gopinath appeared in the dream of this pujari and said, wake up now and hear carefully my instruction. I have actually kept one pot of Kshira for one of my devotees, dear devotees, by name Madhavendra Puri. Right now he is sleeping in the marketplace nearby the temple. You go take this sweet rice, this Kshira, and go to the marketplace and call out his name and offer him this Kshira prasadam. So the deity told clearly these instructions to the pujari. The pujari, after seeing that dream, he woke up in the middle of the night, and then he was quite wonderstruck. Oh, the deity appeared in my dream and has given specific instructions. So accordingly, he thought, Okay, I should go to the temple and open the temple in the middle of the night. Well, I have received that, now I should do it. So he thought, better I take a bath. So he went, took a bath, and then went to the temple, opened the temple, and as the deity had told, in a particular spot behind the deity, behind the backdrop, there was a pot of Kshira. That means actually 12 pots of Kshira were offered, but only 11 had been removed. The one pot already the deity had hidden, because Madhavendra Puri had desired to taste it. So Gopinath had actually reserved this pot for Madhavendra Puri. So then the pujari took that pot and again closed the temple completely, and then took that pot of Kshira and went to the marketplace. It was quite nearby. So in few minutes he went to the marketplace, about 10-15 minutes, and then began to call out, "Who is the most fortunate Madhavendra Puri? I want to give you something. Who is Madhavendra Puri?" He went round calling out the name little loudly. Few places he went, and suddenly he saw somebody coming in the distance, and that was a saintly looking person. And then he said, "I am Madhavendra Puri. You called me?" "Yes, I called you. You are the most fortunate devotee. Lord Gopinath has sent for you this Kshira Prasadam." Madhavendra Puri was stunned that I just desired to taste it, and because I had committed the offense that at the time of offering I desired like that to eat, therefore I didn't take the prasadam and came away. But the Lord is so merciful upon me. So he took that, and then the pujari paid obeisances to Madhavendra Puri and then went away. And then Madhavendra Puri then sat and actually honored that Kshira and began to consider, the Lord is so merciful upon me. Even though I committed an offense, still the Lord has excused my offense and He has so kindly given me. So I am very, very grateful to the Lord. Thinking like that, he honored the prasadam, and then that pot very nicely he washed and then stored that earthen pot in which it was offered. The pot itself he broke into pieces and he tied it in a bundle of cloth and decided to take it with him. Now he also realized next day morning the word will spread that the deity has actually bestowed special mercy upon this Madhavendra Puri. So many people will come to see him. So he did not want all this honor and respect and everything. So before the day break itself, he immediately in the midnight, little after midnight, after honoring the prasadam and he decided to leave the town of Mathura, that Remuna, and go away to Jagannath Puri. So he left and walked away, and in that way, the next day, the village people or the townspeople Remuna people were not able to see him. So this is the kind of devotional service of Madhavendra Puri, that the Lord himself, when he was fasting, brought for him a pot of milk, and then the Lord actually got him to install the deity, which was abandoned by a pujari or a priest who had to save the deity when the Muslims were attacking. And in this way, the Lord also engaged him in sending him to Jagannath Puri. On the way, he had to stop by in this Gopinath temple, and Gopinath temple, the Lord arranged to actually give him that prasadam, even though he somehow did not take it. So in this way, the Lord performs various pastimes, and these are some of the pastimes which involve the prasadam of the Lord. The Lord is very much eager to actually give this prasadam, because this prasadam is very, very potent in helping us to awaken our Krishna consciousness. Krishna bhakti or Krishna consciousness is there in everybody's heart, but it has to be awakened by a suitable process. So that process of awakening our Krishna consciousness is bhakti. And by performing activities of devotion or bhakti, we can awaken our Krishna consciousness. So one of the important activities of bhakti is offering food and accepting the remnants of food offered to Krishna as prasada. I'll take some questions. If we regulate eating, sleeping, work, recreation, and practice yoga in that way, we can overcome all material pains. How do we practically balance ourselves between these habits and spiritual practices? Yes, regulation is not very easy for everyone, but it means that some effort or endeavor has to be put for doing in a systematic way. We have to divide our time between the different activities, and we also have to give up certain old habits or bad habits of not being strict with our regulated way of doing different activities. So this balance comes about by putting an endeavor to change old habits, and some amount of discipline or mind control is required. We cannot simply do something which we like to do. The main obstacle for regulation is people think they can do whatever they like to do whenever they want to do it. This is not the proper way of living. If you want to practice spiritual life, then you have to do the right thing at the right time. Just like it is said in the scriptures, you should sleep at night, not sleep in the daytime. So daytime is the time for doing some activity, and night time is the time for sleeping. So similarly, daytime also, there are varieties of activities, it's not just one activity. So each activity has to be done, the right activity at the right time. It's not simply what we like to do, we do. No, what should be done, we have to do. Just like after rising in the morning, first thing is cleansing ourselves. So that cleansing has to be done first. And then immediately after cleansing, first thing is offering prayers to the Lord or doing some spiritual activity early morning after rising and cleansing. So that has to be done. Like that, one after another, different activities have to be done systematically. And even if our mind doesn't agree, we are not in a mood, or we are not we don't like to do something, still against our likes and against our likes, we have to sometimes do things which are appropriate, even though we may not like to do it. In this way, gradually, our habits can be changed. Next question, can masoor dal be used while cooking bhoga for Krishna? As far as I know, masoor dal is also one of the dals that is, of course, masoor dal is specially like urad dal. Masoor dal also has too much of protein. So it is not considered to be very healthy to eat something which is too much proteinaceous. But if somebody doesn't have any difficulty with taking masoor dal, they can cook masoor dal and offer to Krishna. There is no objection to it. Except during the Chaturmasya, 4 months of rainy season, there is a special Chaturmasya fast that is to be observed. In the 4th month of Chaturmasya, that 4th month we don't take urad dal, masoor dal. These two dals we don't take. The fasting from masoor dal and urad dal during 4th month of Chaturmasya, the Kartik month. So that time when urad dal is not to be taken, masoor dal also is not to be taken. Otherwise, other months you can take it. There is no objection. Next question, how to dispose prasadam which remains unconsumed because the person becomes full and by mistake has taken some more quantity of prasadam on the plate? Well, when taking prasadam, it has to be served carefully whoever is serving or whoever is taking, so that you take only as much as you require. So that's why serving has to be done in such a way that you take a little quantity at a time, not big quantities. So multiple times serving can be taken. It is not just that you have to take one time. No, you can take multiple times, but don't. If anyway some prasadam remains, you can feed some worms and other such small creatures in the earth. So the idea is not to dispose the prasadam as garbage, but prasadam is prasadam. Okay. Even if you have taken and you're not able to eat it, you can put it for the worms and insects in the earth. If a devotee took more prasadam in his plate than he can honor, can another devotee accept his leftovers? This is not a proper practice. In fact, we say take remnants of food offered to Krishna or the pure devotee spiritual master. Remnants of food offered to Krishna or the pure devotee spiritual master are proper remnants to be taken by other devotees. Other than that, we don't take any other remnants. It's not proper to take. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.